In the serene village of Sankassa, nestled by the flowing rivers and towering mountains, lived a young boy named Aravind. The villagers led a simple life, farming the land and weaving clothes, but Aravind was always intrigued by the deeper questions of life. The suffering he saw around him, illness, old age, and misery troubled his young heart. One day, while walking by the riverbank, Aravind met an old monk named Mahaka, who was meditating under a large ancient Bodhi tree. The tranquility that seemed to envelop the monk fascinated Aravind, prompting him to approach him. "Why do you sit so quietly and yet seem so content?" asked Mahaka, his eyes filled with curiosity. Mahaka opened his eyes, a gentle smile playing on his lips. "I am seeking the truth about life and suffering," he answered softly. "By meditating, I cultivate inner peace and understanding." Aravind sat beside him, eager to learn. "Can you teach me? I see so much pain around, and I want to understand why it happens." The monk nodded. "I will tell you a story that Buddha once shared with his disciples Mahaka. Began his voice calm and steady. Long ago, in a distant kingdom, there lived a mighty king who had everything: wealth, power, and grandeur. Yet he was deeply unhappy. He felt an emptiness inside that none of his treasures could fill. Desperate for peace, the king decided to seek the advice of the Buddha. The king traveled far and wide, finally reaching the grove where Buddha resided. Bowing deeply, he asked Buddha, "O enlightened one, I have immense wealth and power, yet I feel empty inside. How can I find true happiness?" Buddha looked at the king with compassionate eyes and said, "Great king, you have adorned yourself with precious jewels, but have you adorned your heart with jewels of compassion, generosity, and understanding?" The king was puzzled. He had never thought of virtues as jewels. Buddha continued, "Happiness does not come from external wealth, but from the wealth within. Plant seeds of goodness in your heart, and you will harvest peace and joy." Taking Buddha's words to heart, the king returned to his kingdom. He began to practice generosity, kindness, and mindfulness. Slowly, the emptiness inside him began to fade, replaced by a profound sense of peace and happiness. Mahaka looked at Aravind, his eyes twinkling. Like the king, we all have the ability to find happiness within ourselves by embracing virtuous qualities. Inspired by the story, Aravind asked, "How can I start, Mahaka?" "Begin by being mindful of your actions and thoughts. Cultivate compassion by helping those in need and sharing what you have. Every act of kindness is a step towards inner peace," advised Mahaka. From that day on, Aravind took the monk's teachings to heart. He helped his family in the fields, shared his meals with those who had none, and offered a kind word to those in distress. Each night he sat by the river, reflecting on his actions and thoughts, seeking the peace Mahaka spoke of. Years passed, and Aravind grew into a wise young man. The villagers noticed the change in him, the light in his eyes, the serenity in his demeanor. They sought his counsel, and Aravind shared with them the teachings of Buddha as taught by Mahaka. One day, as the sun set behind the mountains, an old man approached Aravind. "I see a light around you, young man. What is your secret?" he asked. Aravind smiled, remembering his first meeting with Mahaka. "There is no secret," he replied. "Just a path Buddha showed us of kindness, understanding, and compassion. When you light these virtues in your heart, you light up the world around you." The old man nodded, his eyes reflecting a newfound understanding. "Thank you, young sage. Your words have opened my eyes to the truth." As the years turned, Aravind continued to spread the light of the teachings. The village of Sankassa transformed into a beacon of peace and harmony, illustrating the profound truth that real wealth is found not in material possessions, but within the heart's boundless capacity for goodness. Thus, Arvind's journey illuminated not just his path, but also that of his fellow villagers, echoing the eternal wisdom of Buddha. True happiness and peace are not gained through external acquisitions, but by nurturing the internal treasures of compassion, generosity, and understanding.